We've created this podcast because we want to know the people behind the work. We invite you to join us at the table and listen to their stories.
Tyler Dodson
All
in
right.
the house.
Yes, Tyler is back at the table with us. So quick for those of you listening that may not know this fun fact, that really fun music we were just listening to was because of Tyler Dodson. Did you you remember that, right?
Yeah, I
Hunter?
do. Yeah, yeah.
So Tyler's a man of many talents, and I'm gonna give you a little opportunity to intro Tyler. Hunter, how about that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we love Tyler. Tyler's a great friend and with many talents, and but we especially love his heart for music, and we love his creative, heart. And the other thing I love is just his story of coming from Stokes County, but always dreaming of writing and performing music. And it's really been a dream come true, hasn't it?
Yeah, sure.
So-
I think the dream's still. I'm waiting for it.
No, you're just in the middle of it. We're trying to wake you up just for an hour, but
Yeah, that's right. Just come out of bed for a minute and talk to us for a minute. But no, let's start. So one of the reasons we wanted to have Tyler on, other than it's just fun to have a conversation with, is you're on a particular journey, and you've met this place where you're actually doing really music has become some of a vocation and even business. And so as we talk about business being personal, there's a story behind that. And Tyler does other things. So maybe you can talk a little bit just about who you are and what you're doing vocationally, period. It's not just music. So kind of what you involved in today, what you doing today.
Yeah. So, like Hunter said, my name is Tyler Dodson. I come from Stokes County, North Carolina, a little town called Germantown. How far do you want me to go with this?
Well, I really just right now, what are you up to today? So what are you doing?
You don't care about the whole backstory.
We're going to go back to the backstory.
I don't
but
care
where
about yours either.
I know it's not about me. You can see why we wanted to have you on right now. This is going to be too fun. I hopefully don't have to get out the editing, too much editing. But what I'd love for you to do is just right now, currently, what's your vocation? Because we're going to talk a little bit about you're dividing. There's many things you're doing, but you work right now. What do you do?
Okay, so I work for a little place called True Look. Shout out to True Look in Winston-Salem. We make construction cameras, and we sell them, or we sell construction cameras. Have a platform for businesses. I'm going to butcher this. I'm not part of there. So
Like job sites and different things like that, right?
Yeah, sorry PR for True Look. Yeah.
Well, that's
but yeah,
not your
basically
role.
that. You
That's
think
not
when you
your
hear
role
like
there.
construction cameras, you think I think security, security stuff. Mm-hmm. And no, but marketing is obviously a huge industry. It's really important. So most of our stuff, we capture time lapses. So any time lapse you've seen of like a building going up from nothing to wow, there's a whole building, and you see this really quick time lapse. We're more into that, and they're branching out obviously into more security and AI stuff. But that was their bread and butter, I think, the way they started.
Yeah, and you work sort of in, I don't quite understand it all, but like programming and like
I don't know, man. I
like
just work
coding
there, as they
and
say.
what other stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
But we met. You used to also do production in manufacturing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've done some management in that. I mean,
Yeah.
so you've had a lot of different things. You sold cars. Is
Used
that
to
right?
roof, yeah.
Used to roof?
I come from a long line of roofers. My grandpa was a roofer. All my uncles, my stepdad, my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Should have been a roofer. Too fat and too afraid of heights, I guess, to do all that.
Well, so you're currently, I mean, where you are, but you've been doing a lot of different things, and you have a lot of different gifts. But and so coming back to the music, because I think this is the new iteration of what you and your wife Kelly been doing.
Yeah.
Traveling around and learning the business of music. I want to go back to, where does music start with you? I mean, is this like from a really young age? Like, talk about music in your life. Have you thought about that recently?
Yeah.
When did it start?
Sure. I mean, I grew up in like an independent Baptist church in Stokes County, so an old country church. So we grew up singing hymns. I've known those for, since the time I can remember. A lot of those beautiful old, I still like them. Reformed as I may be. the old Fanny Crosby stuff. They're just beautiful melodies, and like those things are like etched into my brain. And obviously, bluegrass and old time music just from where I was from. So I grew up hearing that. Grew up hearing '90s country and everything else on the radio. Didn't really get turned on, I guess, or kind of. I didn't wake up until I remember the moment that I was like, wow, music is cool. I had my little Walkman, and I don't think I was supposed to be listening to this because, once again, independent Baptist. But I had my little Walkman. My parents were kind of lax, so they weren't totally hard nosed about it. And but I whatever. We were at the beach, and I had my headphones in, and I heard like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, "Scar Tissue" back in like 1999. It just came out.
Wow.
And
How old were you? How were you?
I was born in '88, so I don't know, like 10 or 11.
Oh man, yeah.
Whatever that math is. Wasn't good at math either. But yeah, and I was like, whoa, okay, there's something here. And then not long after, I think back up just a little bit, they got me a guitar. I was always kind of like interested, but I had no clue because my family is not like musical. There's a few like cousins, I think, or like a cousin that plays, maybe a couple. I think one might play piano in church, but they got me this guitar from the Sears catalog, I think it was, or whatever, you got things way back in the ancient days of the 90s. And had no idea how to play the thing. So I basically turned the tuning pegs until all the strings broke. And I'm like, I don't understand how this thing is supposed to. I've never, like, it's so weird. Like, I mean, I didn't grow up, there was no guitar player. I think there was a bass player in our church. But I mean, maybe I saw it on TV, and like I'm probably a little thick, so like I just never put two and two together. Your fingers go on the frets, and so I was 8, and then I think you kind of really got more into music after that, and then by the time I was 12, I got a guitar, and it just clicked. Got lessons from my little Christian school I was going to, and the lady, I think she might have slapped my hand with a ruler one time, saying I wanted to play too fast, but
you had actual lessons, like so you.
I took some lessons from her. She showed me some basic chords, but I mean, I think I'd figured out they were tabs and just like listening to music and kind of figuring out what I was hearing, all that, and just being obsessed. Like it never stopped. It's never stopped. I'd stop playing guitar here and there for brief periods, but I always came back to it. Or, when I stopped playing guitar, I started like producing music or like playing the banjo or trying the fiddle, and that's all I do with the fiddle is try. Like, I don't think anybody ever plays it. They just try. But that's not true. I know great fiddlers. But yeah, I always came back to it. So
yeah, so all your. I mean, that's been a thing. So it's never really been work. It's hard work to do, but you just love it.
Yeah.
So when you're just thinking about music, you're playing music.
There's something else to it. Yeah, it's hard to sit down and like I'd do it more if it wasn't hard, or if I had more time. Sit down and like transcribe stuff and figure out. I mean, because it's like for me, like sitting down with a song is like. I mean, you're walking in the footsteps of greats, or in the footsteps of like the greats. Like if I'm trying to figure out like I'm a big Jerry Reed fan. If you don't know who that is, you should. You ought to go look him up. He's great, fantastic guitar player. So funky for a country guy, and so yeah, when I'm sitting down and like, dude, just an amazing player. Like it's so wild what he did to blend like jazz and country and like all that stuff, and all those guys were doing it back then. And played a lot with Chet Atkins, but just sitting down and like working through a piece like takes time. Even now, it's like I can play all right, and it just takes time to get it under your fingers and to think like, wow, he did this, he does this way. I'd never think of that.
So were you instant like, hey, I'm going to get a band together? Because that's everybody. As soon as you get a guitar,
oh
let's
yeah,
get
it's
a
a
band.
dream.
No, but like, did you do that in high school or something? Have a band? Were you in a
we
garage?
had a little
that's what I'm
band.
picturing.
I mean, as much as we could. Like, I mean, I went to like independent Baptist Christian school, so as much as we could under the radar, we did.
Just not Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I mean, I did like them. I still like them. I'll defend them. I know people hate on them. But
I love some Red Hot Chili Peppers.
And yeah, for what it's worth.
So you've been playing together with other people. I mean, it's just like music.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I did a little bit of that in high school. Yes, the dream. I would take my guitar outside and, because I saw Hendrix or whatever, and I was into him. And all these guys were like, I'd see these old videos and they're all playing outside. But I mean, I'm in Stokes County, North Carolina, in the woods, like with my amplifier plugged in outside and playing the freaking Star Spangled Banner the best I can, the way Hendrix did. And,
oh man, I wish there was some video of that. I really
Glad
wish
there's
there was
not.
video of that. Oh man, no, I'm telling you, that would be awesome stuff for Instagram right there. You being Hendrix. I'm just picturing it. So, you, as it progressed, it wasn't there a season where you pursued it professionally for a little while? Is that right?
So we went to Nashville. Well, I mean, one thing about it is like where I come from, it's not something that's really done. At least in the little part of the culture that I grew up in the South. I mean, I know that people do it, and we have plenty of fine musicians that are professionals. And but at least in my little pocket, there was. You just don't do it. I mean, I come from like salt of the earth, like very blue collar. You know, you get up and you go to work and you come home and you're miserable and you drink your beer and you go to sleep and do it again. You know, try to make it the best you can. Keep your grass nice. I was always taught that. But other than that, no, there was no. I was always weird, kind of for doing that. Or I felt weird. It was just I feel like my entire life with music has been just making it up as I go because I have no concept of. I mean, now we have YouTube and everything else, so there's obviously a lot of resources. But for like the longest time, it was I'm making this stuff up on the fly. I still feel like I'm doing that, even with trying to like get into because there's no rule book, there's no playbook for it.
Well, I would like to ask this question because
I give you permission.
Yeah. Of course, I know that you not only play, but you write.
Mm-hmm.
And you write, you don't just write lyrics, you write words. You know, you're a wordsmith, you're a poet. But you also think about these things.
Mm-hmm.
So in some ways, I don't know how many times, maybe 3 or 4 times in this conversation already, you've mentioned your upbringing. And I happen to know that you think about theology a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And having grown up in Independent Baptist Church, you have wrestled with that theology, and you've thought about it in a lot of different ways. And that's part of your sort of metamorphosis.
Sure.
You want to talk about that at all?
How put that in a more concise question.
Well,
there's a lot there, right? There's a lot there.
I guess it's
I can talk all day, but
it's the fact that you talk like you're just an old roofer who drinks beer at night, but you live in your mind a lot as both a writer and a poet and a theologian, and so you've thought about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems a little incongruent to what you've been talking about.
I think I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I'm part of that too, is like upbringing, man. So, it was rough. I grew up with like an alcoholic stepfather. I was pushed kind of away, or like went into. I'd never really thought about that. So maybe we should get on the couch here and I should lay down, but and I'll talk for the rest of the time.
These are comfortable chairs. Good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do some hypnotherapy, huh? But no, I think. And I've thought about that some, just like the, I don't know. It's tough to put words to, I think, or make it coherent. But you can edit this part out when I'm thinking too much.
No, you're fine.
We don't edit. We're just having a conversation.
But no, yeah, that's a great question. I'm just trying to to rectify all these things. Yeah, it's weird. Like I'm sure everyone has that. You have all these things from your past, but you're not quite that. You know what I mean? But I mean, they're almost like archetypes that you grow up with, or at least in your little world, they're archetypes. And for me, that was like my stepdad. Seeing him go to work, come home, work hard as hell, and then try to raise a family and do it the best he can. Like I mean, we were not cool for a long time, and because he had his own demons, turns out later. You just don't know this stuff when you're coming up. And it's like, these patterns of like trauma and call it what you will, sin or whatever else, whatever words you can put on it, are generational. and it passes down from one to another. But anyway, long story short, that I think of that relationship, that like rocky relationship with him, drew like pushed me into. I just remember spending a lot of time in my room alone. And it was video games because they'd buy me like Nintendo and stuff, and I would just sit in there and play with toys or draw or whatever else. I was always doing something creative. Just needed to. I felt that compulsion to make things since I can remember. I need to make something. In fact, like talking about songwriting, before I ever played anything or ever had like, when I say I'm kind of dumb. So it's like before I like knew remotely how music was supposed to work, I would just started writing songs. I listened to the radio some, but like just wanted to write songs. And I think my mama found one in my jeans as a kid when she was washing them, and before she washed them, because she would
Clean
always
out the
check your
pockets,
jeans,
yeah.
clean out. She better because they'll mess her washing machine up.
Find your cigarettes
God
in
knows
there.
what's when I was in 4th grade.
I know you.
One of those Marlboros in there. And she found this song I'd been writing called Just Don't Care No More. And she's like, what is this? And she had no she doesn't know this stuff. And God love the woman. And she was like, just don't care no more. And I'm surprised she could read my handwriting. But I mean, like it looks the same today as it did when I was in 4th grade. So I can show you an example if you want to see it. But he's like, boy, you better care. And
Have you got a
like,
song in your pocket already today?
I've got tons of notes on my phones.
Okay.
Yeah, 1,000 notes on my phone.
She said, "Boy, you better care." Is that
Yeah,
it?
boy, you better start caring. But I mean, really, that's like that was the way it was kind of perceived. Like back to that whole thing. It's like that's the way music was like perceived. That's why I never tried to like make it a career. I didn't know you could. I mean, I know you could, but it's like if there was always this like guilt associated with trying to do this thing professionally.
But yet it was such an outlet for creativity or dealing with issues.
It scratched itches. All
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Do
something.
you remember any of the lyrics to that song?
No, just the title.
Okay.
I'm surprised I remember that. I have a terrible memory, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I answered your question at all, but like,
It's all right. We're just talking.
Well, but Hunter, your point is, you kept referring to where you came from, and it does inform obviously where where you are now. And,
it informs so much.
And
of
it's
it.
like, yeah, I didn't know this about you. That like you said you felt so strange to love this because you didn't have a place for it. Like culturally, there wasn't a place for it, right? Music was Red Hot Chili Peppers. Don't listen to that, or whatever it was, or you had the hymns. You could sing the hymns, but for you to feel out of place, but yet love it so much, that tension, that's just a hard thing to handle.
Yeah, I've lived with that my entire life. It's still there in the back of my head. It's like, I mean, you talk to like some of the guys I played in the band. I mean, speaking of playing in bands, like I got out of bands just because like the independent Baptist was so strong that like there was no category in my. I mean, bear in mind, I grew up. I mean, from the time I can remember, I was in an independent Baptist church. Like rock and roll is the devil. It's like that whole cliche, and it's like this was truth for me, and like I knew it, but it's also still this thing. It was like, but these songs make me feel good, and like I really like them, and like I can do it, and like I'm halfway good at it, and and. I lived in tension for a long time. I mean, I think I've obviously come out of it, but I couldn't go hear a band in a bar for a long time without having a panic attack. Yeah, like talk about
Like I should not be here.
I should not be here to the point where God is going to judge me and strike me down for doing this.
Wow.
Yeah, wasn't partying, like no drugs, no drinking involved, whatever. Just listening to music, hanging out with the boys. And
Okay, so we got to talk about this. So
Sure.
that's where you started, again, that's for a season, obviously. So what's the move to now? I mean, talk about how you started coming through that, where it's like now you're pursuing this as a career and you feel good about it. Like you said, of course there's still tension or whatever. Can you do it?
Yeah.
What
I think
started
some
happening?
of those things are
Like,
some of those things are ingrained. It's like
so what
maybe
happened to
it'll go
move you
away.
that way?
Okay, so well, I mean, obviously the one of the pillars that had to fall was I had to get out of the independent Baptist thing, and I did that. Late teens, early 20s, it kind of started to fall away. Because that's another thing. I've always been like interested, like Hunter said, in like theology and philosophy. My burp over here is okay. That's why I don't drink beer or trying to drink beer during my sets, because it's like I'm trying to sing and holding in a burp the whole time.
This makes it very authentic conversation here. Very authentic conversation.
Yeah,
Especially
it's
that
awesome.
you actually described it and called attention to it. So
That's perfect. Yeah, perfect. That's the only way I know how to deal with awkward things, is just make them more weird. I'm like,
But Tyler, so just to put a little bit of a nuance on it, I'm always curious about just where people find life, especially when they're kind of living in a desert. And this stuff seemed, I mean, as you describe it, well, I know that creativity and the ability to kind of do it or access it, especially access what you love, really love, and you're good at, is life-giving. Yeah. And do you remember that? Do you remember going, oh my gosh, why is this so important to me?
No. No. Okay. Dude, I mean, I wish I had a better answer than that.
No,
but no,
it's
I think
okay.
it's kind of
Well,
like,
maybe you didn't think it consciously, but what you just described was, wait a second, I like it. I like this thing.
I mean, you're always fighting for it, but the guilt was so strong.
Yeah, that was the tension.
It smothered it. It's like whatever light was there, like the darkness, like stamped it out.
Wow.
So you had to start breaking free of, and I know we keep using the term like independent Baptist in some sort of way, but basically it's just this culture of like, hey, you've got to live this certain way, and if you don't, judgment's coming for you. So when you say that, just like for everybody listening, like hyper legalism, that's what you're describing. And so you had to first get away from that.
Yeah.
What happened? Like as you started doing that, as far as becoming more okay with the things that you love.
Well, okay, so that's where I was going. Like Hunter was saying earlier, like he knows that I've always, and you too. Like I mean, I had questions for you from the time we met. Like the first like daggum day, we met at like Sonic Hair where we both used to work. I had immediate theological questions, and I always had them. I remember. Oh yeah, I still do. And I remember being like 6 years old and talking to my aunt, old country lady. She's passed now. I loved her, Gladys, and no theologian. She was just not, and that's okay. Like how could she be? And but I asked her. I think we were going to Rose's when that was still a thing around here. We were getting out of the car. I was like, Gladys, I had my accent. You think it's bad now? It was way thicker then, and. I was like, how do we know that God's real? And she was like, oh, honey, we never asked that question. That was the end of it. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. I guess. But that sums up like you take it for, just whatever the preacher says is kind of golden. But no, that same like theology, philosophy, whatever, the life of the mind, like drew me away from that because like it can't stand up to, in my opinion, it can't stand up to scrutiny. Mm-hmm. And the more I thought about it, the more I reasoned it out, the more I met people of like other faiths. So that's another thing that it was very like it was an isolated way to live. Like you don't associate with these other people because they have bad ideas, and bad ideas are bad and wrong, and they're all going to hell. And but yeah, getting out and meeting other people and people with different ways of thinking and different like lifestyles and ideologies, I kind of opened my mind, I guess, and that was like kind of the way it started. I mean, probably through music, it started to all kind of fall away because I was hanging out with musicians and they're a wild lot, but maybe it's kind of what you need sometimes when you're in hyper legalism.
Yeah,
and. So that's, like I said, that started to fall away when I was 19 or 20. We no longer read, I don't know how much your listeners know about like the inner workings of the independent Baptist mind, but or their theology. And maybe I'm harping on this too much, but this is my story, man. So that's the way it is. They like one specific version of the Bible called the KJV, and I think that was the first pillar to fall.
You read a different translation.
I read a different translation, which was anathema, like you're going to hell. And turned out like the things that I had memorized. I mean, like I said, I grew up independent Baptist in church from like the time I was a two and in the school, so I was thoroughly indoctrinated. And the things that I'd been, the passages that we were living by, like I mean, I like staked, like this is a part of my like worldview. This is like a part of my epistemology, like so deep that it's bedrock. And it means something totally different, these verses that they're telling. I forget which one it was, but like I was like, holy crap. I read it, and it means something totally different than what I thought it meant for 20 years of my entire life. and it shatters you. Like, what
Yeah.
else does it do?
Well, the foundation. I mean, you're saying like the foundation. You've been laid foundation. Like things like we don't ask those questions. We don't ask hard questions.
Yeah.
Or questions we might not know exactly the answers to. And mystery is very. And somebody removes a stone of that foundation.
Yeah.
It's disorienting. It's a
Well,
disorienting thing.
Absolutely. And I think I realized like
What
somewhere,
happened?
What?
What happened when that happened to you? Like,
Oh
was
no!
that?
I mean that was just like it was a kind of a you see a pillar fall and it's kind of so it starts out slow and then like the whole damn house comes down.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Slowly but surely, like it gets shattered over time. And you grow up thinking that God is standing over your head like with a cosmic hammer, ready to come down just because you say a no word or something. And there's not a lot of love, not a lot of grace. They'll say it, but it's not there ultimately, like practically,
So you met a different God
Sure.
in the pages.
Yeah, I think that's the name of the story right there. It's like you met. Well, I think how he actually is, which is love, and yeah, that I think was like the ultimate thing that happened. It took years to get there from the ESV. Me reading like the ESV from the KJV to here now. But yeah.
So how has that informed your music? This journey. I mean, obviously you said that's informed who you are, but is there specific ways where the music's been informed that way? Your journey.
Sure. Just the ability to actually do it.
The freedom, like you feel
the freedom
free
to
do
actually
it.
do it. Sure. Yeah, because I'm absolutely a believer still, and which is kind of rare. It's like you see plenty of people come out of this stuff and they just don't want anything to do with it ever again.
Yeah, the deconstruction.
Yeah, the deconstruction, and like me and Kelly both, my wife, absolutely went through a period of deconstruction. But luckily, people were there like you, Kwasny, and like Hunter to pick us up when it was like. We could have gone, the other way and just completely gotten out of the church, which I think would have been detrimental, terrible. But yeah, so yeah, it absolutely gave us the freedom to, and I'm still working through it. I was telling Hunter this like at dinner the other day. Like it's still hard for me to say, all right, I really like this, and that might be okay. Might be okay that I like this. 'Cause that was always the guilt, man. It's like, you really like this, and I should have a damn job. I mean, really, I wish I liked plumbing or roofing like better than I like music, because I'd be wealthier for it. But well, takes all types, I reckon.
And I just love though that the very thing that was so made you so guilt ridden and is now the thing that actually is frees you. So it's the same. The thing that brought you so much guilt, so much shame or whatever, waiting around the corner for the hammer to fall is now the way you tell the story of who you met in those scriptures, who you met along the way, stories of love and grace. I can just think of some of your songs.
And still getting to know,
Yeah, but that's, that vehicle that felt like such a wrong thing has been one of the things that you are utilizing now to tell your story and to encourage other people. I think it's pretty beautiful.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you I think he uses his church in a lot of ways, and like you guys have definitely helped me. Lots of people have helped me think through these things.
I wonder. I mean, I hate to harp on this, but
Harp away, man.
I want to harp. What happens to people when they don't ever get out of it? When I think about you as a creative with these gifts, with this sort of stuff that is sort of seeping out of you, whether it's lyrics or the beauty of music or even performance and all that. What happens to a person when they just aren't allowed to enjoy that or let that be a gift, to express that gift?
I'm trying to think of like individual. I'm not really connected with that world anymore, but I don't know. I think the standard answer I would want, like my knee jerk reaction, obviously, I think would be, well, they shrivel up and they die.
Yeah.
I don't think it's true though. I think they double down. I think you get in because there's a safety and there is security in knowing everything for sure. You know what I mean? And that's what that gives you. It's like, this is the way the world is laid out. And if you've ever been in that kind of culture, you know it. You know it's true.
Oh, I
It's
see.
like, this is how God is. This is how the world is. These are your rules. You follow your rules.
Yeah, this isn't unique to independent, like
No,
to
absolutely
that
not.
worldview
Yeah.
or even religion.
It's just mine.
It's when you know. No, I'm glad you brought this up because I think this broadens it for the audience and even for our discussion. Is, boy, what you just said. When you know, or you're certain that you know, or you think you're certain, like there is a safety to that, and so doubling down, even if in the face of complete proof that you actually don't know.
Yeah.
It just makes everything closed, and it's easier to make enemies. I mean, look at our culture right now, right? And it's so much easier to get an enemy. Just, man, you're that person, instead of like, are you really, or is there a nuance to the way you actually are? We just put you in the camp, we close it up because I know my world, and we're all susceptible for that, man. So I think that's interesting that you actually bring that up. You're right. It's not like shrivel up and die. You double down sometimes and try to find life in that. And the only way you find life is by killing a bunch of other people in the sense of just pushing them away.
Yeah.
And it's tragic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
And-
I mean, you go along to get along, right? It's like
Yeah.
you drink the Kool-Aid.
As opposed to, and I think we just need to talk about the alternative a little bit, because I think you chose the alternative, which was curiosity and, uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty sure, but it may not be this. And,
Sure, yeah.
And so you're open to other people, and you're open to other ideas and curiosity and just listening, and that actually makes for a pretty healthy human, I think.
And it's not that there's no certainty whatsoever. Just hold everything wide open. But you're willing to be, when you open it up, you're willing to be challenged or have some opposition come in. I tell my clients, what I expect out of you today is that you're open and honest.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to work well as a team, we got to be open, meaning we're going to have a posture of openness to hear, to listen, to receive, to be wrong, and then when that happens, you can just say it. You don't have to say, I love you, Tyler, but, right? You don't have to have that but. You just speak the truth. And so when you're willing to have, hey, I really believe this, and I'm actually living my life like this, but something comes along that challenges that, you're not just instantly no. You're going to listen. That's the curiosity piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And boy, does it bridge gaps between
Sure, yeah.
people, which is really amazing. And music's one of those places because, look at someone's playlist. And yeah, there's stereotypes of certain types of people that like certain types of music. But man, nowadays, I think it's amazing. Look at what my kids listen to, different genres, different times. And now
Same.
because you can have access to all of it, it's so amazing. And that's one of those things that challenges us, is all the different artists and styles of music and all that. And it's kind of crazy,
Yeah, I think, yeah, to that, it's learning to hold things with an open hand, and I'm still not great at that. Like I told our mutual friend Derek the other day when me and Kelly first got together, I was showing her the Grateful Dead, and I like the Dead, and maybe not their live stuff. I really like their studio stuff. I can't do so much. I haven't done enough acid in my life to really like the studio stuff. I haven't done much acid at all, actually. Except for what we took before we started this. It's about to get weird here. Hang around, folks. Just kidding.
Okay, it's okay. Go
all right.
ahead.
no one believes you anyway, so that's fine.
But I couldn't take her not liking it because I still really like them. I just like them. And
she didn't.
And she didn't, but I could not. I was like, I think we were like newly married or like dating or something. I was like, but it's like, you're my person. You're my wife. Like, what do you mean you don't like this thing that I like? I was like, I really like this. You don't understand. And I'm not even that big of a Dead fan, I just couldn't reconcile the two.
This
But
person I love, who loves me, is different than me with
it's
this.
different
Yeah.
than me. Yeah.
Imagine
But it's
that.
learning to I think that's one of the biggest things, like learning to hold things. And I suck at it, but I'm like getting better. I'm at least aware of it, that I can hold things with an open hand. It's okay that you have a different opinion than I do on like things that are not vital. Even things that are vital. It's like, I can only do so much to change your mind. We can have a conversation or I can shoot you. Like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like, how much do I care about this? I'm not going to shoot you. So we can have a conversation.
Yeah, but man, it's like disagreeing with one another is a painful thing, especially when you're like, but I thought I knew you. Or you're like, you don't like that movie? That's my favorite movie. Do you actually like me? Because that's what, like, it's so connected to our identity,
Sure.
right? It's weird how you can be offended by that.
I have really close friends that I love and like will do anything for, and are just like, yeah, they're just like my people, man.
And they hate your music.
Yeah, they hate my music. We can't be friends then. But yeah, I don't care. I don't care at all about that. But no, we are. It's worse than that. We are like philosophically, theologically, just like as polar opposite as you can be. But we can talk about it, and you can have your hand. And we talk about it with open hands.
Yeah.
And these are people I could spend. I could go on a vacation. We'd never argue. We'd laugh the entire time and have a great time, and probably still talk about all this stuff. And I mean, we could even be like, "You're an idiot. Why do you think that? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." But it's all open-handed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is, I think that's one of the most important things in the world to me.
Yeah.
It's just the ability to do that.
Imagine if there was more of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
How'd you learn that?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't sound like you came from that culture.
Not at all. Well, I mean, for the one guy I'm talking about in particular, I'm not going to call him out, but no, I've liked laughing, I think, more than anything in my entire life. I always want to make a joke, and he's the funniest guy I've ever met. So I think that helps. If he wasn't funny, maybe I'd hate him. But no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. He's a great dude. But
well, in some ways, it's almost. I mean, what you were just saying there, Hunter, makes me think about it. Like, yeah, it is. It seems strange coming out of a closed system to be as open as you are. But I think that's the response, as you've got a little taste of like, some different opinion. I want more, and the curiosity kept going to a place now where you would be friends and love someone and not try to force them to be like you. Again, it still bothers us when we don't have people agree with us, but. That's pretty amazing, actually. I mean, to come out of that.
I mean, I think when you care about people, you want them to, and you think like this thing is, and I think that goes the same for like the independent Baptist crowd. Like, they really believe it. And like, if you thought you were going to be raptured out of here and like and you're wearing pants and you won't go or whatever, I don't know if they actually believe that, but to straw man their position, if I may, then what I'm saying is like they really believe what they're saying.
Yeah.
And so there is a level of like actual care. And I think if we got even that through our heads, it would help us like empathize a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or sympathize, whatever the right word is, for for people like that, not just for the independent Baptists, for pick your scapegoat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. I want to talk a little bit about your more recent journey here. So you alluded to, you spent some time, I think you and Kelly went to Nashville and kind of pursued the music career for a while.
No, I did. It was just me. I hadn't met Kelly yet. Yeah.
Okay, so what was that like?
I mean, like most other things in my life, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm all vibes, man. That's what Kelly always says about me. And so took a notion. I think I was working at Taco Bell in King, North Carolina, where I had my first gig, actually, too. Our music gig. Our little trio played in the corner. They took one of those old tables off, and we all just played there. Anyway, side note. But I'd moved there and gotten a promotion recently to a manager at the Bojangles across the street. And about 2 weeks in, I was like, these damn hands ain't made for making chicken. They're made for chicken picking, but not making chicken. And so I was like, I'm out of here, dude. And another friend of mine who I've kind of lost touch with over the years, which is like, I mean, he's doing his own thing. It's nothing really between us. It's just kind of you go your own way or whatever. And we were really close at the time. One of the best songwriters I've ever met. We were hanging out a lot of the time. He was like, dude, it's like my cousin's in Nashville, so we could make the big trip. We could just go to like from Asheville to Knoxville, or from Asheville to Nashville, to Memphis, down to Austin. We had all these plans to, back to New Orleans, come home whenever we want to. And it's not like we had a bunch of money. We're poor. It's like, I was like, what are we going to do about that? And he's like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I was like, sounds good. Let's go.
All vibes.
All vibes, man. And so we got out there, and like his cousin was living out there with her boyfriend and her mama. And so we stayed on the couch for a while. And we met some people. And, I think everybody like talks a big game when you're in Nashville. It's like, hey, you want to make a record? And we met some of those guys, and never made the record, but maybe they would have. I don't know. I think my buddy got homesick eventually and went back, and I stayed for a little while longer just to kind of make, see what happened. I'm just always curious, and like I love people, so that was fun when I could do it. Sleep on the couch.
But it didn't end up. That wasn't the career move.
Well, no, I was supposed to go back. I just never did. So.
Why didn't you go back?
I don't know. I just like I didn't know anybody out there, and it was all kind of. I got to go get a job out there. And I think reality set in, It's like, oh, I thought I was going to be famous. It's like, and my writing's like, I think better now than definitely better now than it ever was. Not that it's great now, but, you got to be kind of crazy or dumb to do anything like this. So
Just pick up, leave, go for it.
pick up,
Just
leave, go for it.
Become famous.
I'd do it again.
Yeah. Still vibes.
Yeah, still vibes.
Still
It ain't ever
vibes.
going to change.
It's going to be one of your album names. Vibes.
Yeah, all
I
vibes,
think it's good.
Kids would love it.
I think it would be good. So you come back, and so it's back to jobs and just working. You get married.
Yeah.
And then, but music's all part of it still. You're still all playing.
Still all playing. Still kind of like the music's still like the devil in the corner. Like, I don't know what you call that. What is that thing when you have sleep paralysis? And like you wake up and you see the shadow man or something over there. It's just, it's just like
Always
a thing
that.
in the corner of your eye. It's evil and it's like lurking and it's like, oh, but it calls, son. It calls to me. And that's still my perception of the thing for the longest time.
But something changed recently where you really started to say, okay, I'm going to make a move.
Well, it
towards this
changed more so. I mean, yeah, when I like hooked up with you guys, which is how we know each other, and I mean, there's no other way to say this than like the gospel changed all that. Like it had to. Grace changed that because I wouldn't do it otherwise. And it's like, well, God actually loves me, and He cares about me, and He wants good things for me. Even, dude, I'll tell you how just ingrained this stuff is. I was talking the other day to mutual friends of ours, and it was weird to hear it because he was basically like celebrating, and it's the guy we're gonna do this like plant with, so we were basically like celebrating the fact that I was doing this, like playing. So I think it's great that you're playing music, man, and like throughout the conversation. I realized that I still like, and I'm like 37 years old, and this has been like my entire life, and I'm still kind of thinking this way, that like, I would never think of a visual artist the way I think of a music artist.
What do you mean?
I never judge them. It's like if you're a painter, you can paint whatever you want to paint. Like you paint a landscape, it doesn't matter if you haven't painted a cross. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I'm singing about this thing that ain't necessarily Jesus. I mean, it all gets in there. You listen to my music,
Right.
like it's all in there because it's part of my worldview, and that's just the way it is. It's who I am. And but you wouldn't like. I don't judge Van Gogh when I look at Starry Night and it's like those aren't crosses. This is not for me. I'm sure there are people out there like that, but for me, I think it's
Beautiful.
That's beautiful, yeah. And I don't know. I just kind of
But
realized
with music for you, that was hard.
Well, yeah, and I think through that conversation, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, actually, because we're doing it more, we're playing all the time, and like recording, and blah 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 blah, and but yeah, it's still hard, but I lost my train of thought. But so,
Well, you're talking about how everything, in a sense, is sacred.
yeah, well, there's no divide, I think.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no divide
Maybe that's a better way to say it.
between the
Everything's
sacred and the secular.
Yeah, it's all imaginary.
And you're just looking and saying, "Oh, this is all gifts. These are all
Yeah,
God's gifts."
That's what I was going to say.
No,
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so the
Say it.
Yeah, the thing that kind of blew my mind, and we're going through this book in this group I'm a part of called Managing Leadership Anxiety, and this one thing stood out in my head, and the author is talking about just kind of he's making this list of just gifts that are just good things that he likes, and he makes the point ultimately that some things are just given to us by God just because He knows we like stuff. You know, put in my, dumb little Stokes County way. We like it. It's good. And, the same way I would give my kid whatever, a skateboard because they like skateboards. And, yeah, like I'd never thought of music that way. Never had. Because, I mean, ultimately, because I've been programmed from a young age to think this is a means to an end, that everything is a means to an end. And in some, like, theological, epistemological way, like, I'm sure that's true, you know, depending on who you talk to. And I believe that, actually. So you talk to me, you'll hear the same thing. But also some things are just gifts. It's just, it's okay to enjoy them. It's okay to do them. It's okay to participate. You know, I'm not actively causing harm, and I'm actively doing good in the world when I do that, which is a crazy thing for me to think.
Yeah.
Because I was wired to think it was always this selfish endeavor. You know, it's I'm all messed up inside.
I mean, aren't we all? But I know I love to say that, like, you had to be able to say, okay, this gift I've been given of loving music and being able to play music and put it together. I had to receive. You're saying, if I hear you correctly, you had to receive that first and just be like, that's okay. Before I had to figure out if I had to use it, be it.
Well, it's all happening at the same time. This was like 2 weeks ago, so I'm still processing all this stuff. I'm just all vibes, man. So I like to do it, and it feels good. So I'm doing it, and I've got it. Like, it's mostly worked out, but like I think some of what I just said is like, it sounds foundational, but it's more nuanced than that. Like, I get it. Yeah, I know that it's all right.
Yeah, it's been happening to you, but you have some words.
I know
for
that
it now.
Yeah, right. I know it's all right, but I don't see it as. I haven't seen it as like a blessing almost to be able to do this stuff. Because I mean, I got back into it. Through the encouragement of like people like Jonathan and my friend Trace, and like they're hearing my stuff and like, why are you not doing anything? I was like, because I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's good, and I don't think I'm supposed to.
So it took other people again to call that out of you.
Yeah, oh yeah, I would have never done it.
What's so cool to think about, right, is that there was voices in your community telling you to stop it, and now there's voices in your community saying, "Oh no, we need more of it."
Yeah,
I mean, what a difference,
it's
right?
It's
to
like
call out,
striking contrast. Right?
We were talking to a couple guys in podcast a few episodes ago, and we got in this theme of having people in their lives. One guy in particular was buying a business, and the guy he was buying it from, he almost pulled the plug on it, and the guy said, "You can do this." Like, he just spoke life of like something he can do, and he said it was just game changer. Having someone so like you said, Jonathan, Trace going, "Hey man, what's going on? Just do it." And now what's been fun for me as your friend, is to watch you lean into that and actually try it. So now, it's becoming business. Like, you're making a business out of this, and you're pursuing it and thinking through it, which is all stuff you're like you said, you're all vibes, But it's funny, a lot of entrepreneurs start with some vibes, right? Like, they're thinking about that, they're creating something, and then the business stuff comes underneath it. But what's that journey been like as you've been trying to like now do it with not just playing, but with some purpose and some intentionality? Because there's some hard work, right? You're playing gigs.
Oh, yeah.
So talk about what you've been learning, because now you're playing gigs.
Are you playing one tonight?
Yeah.
Got playing a gig tonight.
Tomorrow, last night. We got home about 3:00 this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So I mean, that just being on the road is hard. You did you've
Hell
done
of a
some
time,
recording. Done recording.
Yeah, looking back into it.
So just think about that. Like, I know you and Kelly and using her gifts, but you're starting a business now. I mean, it's part of like becoming who you are. What's that been like? What you been learning there?
What have I been learning? Good Lord. Capacity is a hard thing. You think you have more than you do. And maybe you do. Depends on what you're doing. But no, I'm working a full-time job and like still recording on the side, and like, you're trying to keep up with. It's multifaceted if you want to do it, I say correctly, but once again, there's no rule book. All you really have access to are either people in the industry or YouTube videos. And I have like a smattering of both, that can a good friend of mine, Sam Lewis, has been impactful for me. I'll shout him out. Hope he doesn't mind. And but he was the one who encouraged me to like make the first record. Just when I was first starting this thing, and I was like, I just want to play some gigs, kind of dip my toes in the water. Because I mean, along with like all the religious baggage, was, head trash, which is I think the number one killer of like every dream ever and every idea ever. Where it's just like, you're never good enough. Are you sure? Like, this seems stupid. go be a roofer or whatever it is. I was like, no head trash. I'm too fat. I can't get up on the roof anymore. I'll explode if I fall off. But no, we opened up a house show for him and he heard my stuff. And it was like kind of the, and I liked Sam before I met him, you know, it wasn't like we just met. We'd heard him before and I dug his stuff. And, so to hear somebody like, you know, I mean, qualified, quote unquote, not that anybody is, but somebody that I respected, give me, you know, kudos.
He was
for what I
further
was
down
doing.
the path.
Further down the path, sure.
Oh.
And you know, more. I think more than that, respected. Just like I like what he did, and he's done it. And say, why don't you do this? You know. And I was trying to figure out how to make a record. I had no idea to do it. And we just happened to have a mutual connection between like this person that was putting on this house show, our mutual friend there. And so he helped me walk through that. And he's been instrumental all the way through. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I get in my head too much with that stuff. You know, it's almost, I've always had the problem. I think too much. I don't do enough. It's like if I did more and thought less, I think I'd be way better off, and a lot of other people would be too. If you talk to enough business owners, like if you just, the wrong action is better than inaction, like 100% of the time, I think.
Well, I think that's true, but what you just described, I think, is that's why you need other people.
Yeah, sure.
You needed Sam, and Sam saw that just like your friends, and
enough of a boost of confidence to say like, hey, man, go, you can do it, and you can. It's not like you can just do it. Your stuff's good. Anybody can say your stuff's good. And people do, and they're your friends. Sam didn't know me from Adam. He had nothing to gain from me. I was like lower on the totem pole, you know? So the way I saw it, it's just like, he doesn't, I'm nobody.
But the reason why we have head trash is because we're in our head. And I think that's the point.
And saying things like that to me.
Yeah. And then someone else, no, I mean, it's what we all have, all entrepreneurs, all people, right? We don't try this because we create a story and a narrative, but then if someone can back to this disrupting what we think we know, I can never do that. And someone goes, are you sure? What if I go with you? Or what if I make this introduction? I mean, we've talked about this before on the podcast, but this concept of self-made man or self-made woman is such a ridiculous thought, right? There's always someone in your life, or usually multiple people that give you opportunity and speak in, and they have to disrupt that. You have head trash is a closed system that you think you know. I know this won't happen, and that's the trash because it's in my head, and I need people in my life to say something different to me.
Well, I think we don't realize, like, and I didn't realize how much you tell yourself the same story over and over to the point where it's just the gospel truth, and this is the way it's always been, it's the way it always will be. Mm-hmm. And like you don't realize that because you're not saying it out loud, and no one else is saying it to you. But I mean, honestly, it seems like this immovable object or this like impossible like force to deal with. But really, all it takes is the right person at the right time saying like, "Are you sure that's true?"
Right. And
then your whole little world just shatters.
Right.
And that's happened to me multiple times. And I try to be that for other people because like I realize that. It's like, dude, just do it.
So who was it that said you were the triple threat?
I think Sam said that. I mean,
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought maybe.
What is triple
songwriter,
threat?
singer.
Yeah, do you want to tell us what the triple threat is?
Songwriter, singer, guitar player. I mean, you might disagree if you hear my stuff. So.
No, but it's that you can write, you can sing, and you can play.
I have my days, sure.
And that's a very interesting thing because there are not many that have all three of those in the same kind of.
I mean, it could be jack of all trades, master of none. I think they would say.
Okay,
trash. Just head trash.
Just get the head trash talking.
Let's go back at
You're right. I'm the best that ever was. Too far. Here's a happy medium. There's some self-aware.
But it is interesting to hear those kinds of things and to work hard to receive them.
Yeah, I mean it's providence looking back. You know, it's like you need to hear that. And I've been afraid to say that my entire life, that it's like a good thing. And it's the Lord, not the devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, again, because it's back to this. These things are pride, or it's all about you. It's like they could be and that's why you're.
I think it's all mixed in. I don't know how to sort all that stuff out.
No, and I don't think you need to. But I think acknowledging that it's messy and we're quick. I mean, it's one of the hardest things to do is to receive praise from someone. You try that. You look somebody in the face. we look somebody in the face in a room of them just going around. We do this. We have a thing in our family where when's your birthday, go around the table and tell you what we love about you or what we see in you. And it's hard to lock eyeballs. Like the look, people look down. People, in your family look down, like to receive praise and affirmation. Because what you just said before, I mean, Sam could have spoken words like, you know what, son, that was a good try, but don't ever do that again.
Sure, yeah.
And that's the same kind of, that'll not only affirm your
cuts
head
the other way.
Yeah, it cuts the other way. And so you have someone in your life, and he wasn't telling you like, this wasn't you can do whatever you put your mind to sort of nonsense, because that's not true either.
Yeah.
There's gifts and abilities, but actually positively
You wouldn't be a
calling
good roofer.
Yeah, we already established that. Don't any roofers hire Tyler. But he called out what was true and positive.
Sure.
Right? And I just think that that's just an amazing thing. And so he's been a big person in your life to turn the corner to now say, I'm going to go work really hard, stay up till 2 a.m., do this gig, record, go to work in the morning, all the things that you need to do, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's really very interesting when you get healthy enough to say, I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
I'm really good at that. And you should hear it. And or you should watch it, or you should let me do it, and I think you'll be pleased. Yeah.
You mean like real confidence in what you're doing?
Well, yeah. It's a real confidence. You know what you're good at, and you know what you love.
Mm-hmm.
And you can stand there and say, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting confidence that is not arrogance. It's not overconfident. It's just, I know what I'm good at and I love it. And, put me in, coach, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. I think for me, yeah. I think there's always that tension too. So I never quite know. You never quite know when you're doing this. You're always kind of stepping out on a limb. Because, everything you're always evolving and learning. And so if you're growing or you're dying, they say. So if you're growing, then you're always doing these uncomfortable things. So it's like, I think you have to have that, like, and you guys talk to enough entrepreneurs to know, you got to be a little, I think, nuts to even try any of this stuff.
Well, but it's not, I don't know. I think that I'm really good at that includes I can learn, I can adapt, I can listen, I'm curious, I know I don't know everything,
Sure, yeah.
but that's one of the best things about me.
That humility, I think, is like the biggest piece.
Right.
It's
very powerful.
You don't have to pretend I can be where I am. And
exactly.
It's
very powerful. And it puts you in the best place.
Mm.
In other words, I don't have to convince you
that
you need to pay attention here.
One of the core values of so I'm an EOS implementer, and one of the core values is that we're humbly confident. And it resonated so much with me. That's the tension of where I want to be all the time. Humble enough that I don't want to be arrogant, but you don't want your person you hire to come in the room and say, well, I'm really not sure what I'm doing here to help you today. I mean, that's not helpful. That's confidence, but at the same time, humble, willing to learn. Like holding those in tension I think it's a mature human. And you're right. Hunter, I don't think it is a little bit crazy from an entrepreneur. All entrepreneurs are a little bit crazy, but they're willing enough to take a risk to, again, bust out of that. They think they know the world and say, what about this? Offering something else into the world. And they're risking, and usually the most successful ones start gathering people pretty quickly to help them with that.
Yeah. Maybe crazy is a relative term.
Well, no, I mean, I think
to some people, I think that looks absolutely batshit crazy.
Sure. Because anything risky, but we risk what we want for what we want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a type of entrepreneur or business leader. There's
to
just
the
a type, but there is a thing. You have to put yourself out there, and this is just what you're doing here with music, or in relationships or whatever, to be willing to hear something different, and then to maybe gather those people around you to help you make it better, refine it.
I think it's exactly what it is.
So you do. You go and do gigs, and you write music, and you're recording. Like, do you have a favorite thing that you love to do of all this? Because there's just a lot of things as a musician.
I like playing shows a lot. I like making stuff. Yeah, so there it is. So I want to make stuff and play it for people.
Yeah.
Yeah, people that want to hear it. There's nothing like that. Yeah.
Do you have a lyric that you love? I mean,
One of mine?
yeah. Is there a lyric that you go, dang, that was such a good line?
Yeah, all of them. But
Love them all.
yeah. Me and Kelly were talking about songwriting on the way up to the gig last night in Nashville. She asked me the same question.
Did she?
Yeah, because
okay.
she's good. She's a good songwriter in her own right, and the one that comes to mind, and this is, I don't know if it's my favorite or not, but I like it. I thought that's pretty clever. And you never know where you find these things, but it was from my song "Dark Up There," which is available on Spotify and iTunes and Amazon and YouTube and everywhere else you stream your
Tell us,
music.
brother.
And it's so the song. I'll give you a little bit of backstory. And this is actually, I recorded this story on the record, so if I change it, you'll know. Who knows what the truth is, though? Who knows what the real story is? But our kid was sitting there reading like some kind of a science book about space, and we were I think she was like 6, and we were telling her what it said and how the universe is this big, and there's so many galaxies and so many like suns in those galaxies and stars and blah 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 blah, and you kind of see her eyes start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's freaking her out. And we're like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "It's so big." It's like, "How is it so big?" And I was like, "Wow, I'd never thought about that," And this little 6-year-old's having this existential crisis of like how little she is compared to this massive universe, and that stuck with me. And I wrote this song called "Dark Up There," and the last verse is, "Have you ever tried to count the stars? I never do know where to start. Heaven help this poor old soul, because my heart's got its very own black hole." And I've always liked that one. And the chorus is, "Show a little, let it glow a little. I want to know a little. Show a little light, because it's dark up there. Show a little light, because it's dark up there." Yeah. So
That's
just one of
awesome.
them. They're all great, though. They're all really, really good.
Yes.
So you should go listen to them.
Well, I was
Just
thinking
kidding.
of my favorite. One of my favorites is that song "Pushing,"
Yeah.
which I think is such a good picture of just the struggle of, I was pulling the lyrics up because I wanted to remember with all this pushing and all this pulling, must have cut my teeth on biting the bullet. See, I couldn't sing this. Just when I think I got
Come on,
something
Josh.
cooking, it all goes up in flames. Whoever told me it's proven true, when there ain't nothing left to lose and there's only one thing you can do, just keep on pushing. And then you just really develop that song of like, this is just the madness.
I'm giving you terrible advice if you take it at surface level.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's meant to be. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, keep going, man. Keep trying a little bit harder. We'll
Yeah,
see how
Let me
that
know
gets
how it goes for you.
you. Yeah, grit your teeth.
And that's such
You're
a
going to
helpful,
get a hernia.
Right. It's such a helpful way, because when you say it out loud, it's like, yes, that's what life is, and it doesn't work. Why do I keep doing this?
Yeah.
So that's one of the ones that I love. I love
I'm
one
glad
of
you get it. You'd be surprised when people I talk to that don't understand that. It's like, yeah, keep on pushing, man. I'm like, no.
those. Wait a second.
No,
That's
sir,
not what I
don't do
meant.
that.
That's not what I meant.
Whatever keeps you buying records, man. Think whatever you want to think.
It's all, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The meaning is the eye of the beholder. Like, no, actually, I meant the opposite. I actually meant the opposite. So you got anything's coming up? Any particular gigs coming up right now you want to talk about?
Yeah. So
You said last night was awesome.
last night was great. Yeah. It's at this level, we're obviously playing like breweries and bars and everything else, wineries around where we are, branching out further and further and further. Just kind of get your name out there and finding your audience. I think they call it. That's what you want to do. But we do have an original show slated with our good friend Evan Blackerby at one of you guys' friends, Mike Joyce's his cabin, and it's kind of open to the public. And you can find those details and the ticket info on my Facebook and Instagram at Tyler Dodson, TYLERDODSON music.
Yeah, I'll put your stuff in the in the link in the episode.
But yeah, we'd love to have.
Excited about that.
Yeah, it'd be great. We're gonna me and Evan just won the NC Folk Festival contest they had for the NC Folk Fest in Greensboro, so he's kind of a big deal. And so
You're playing on a dock, is that
we're gonna
right?
yeah, that's right. We're gonna play on the dock of this little pond here at this historic cabin that our buddy Mike rebuilt I think it was his grandpa's old cabin where they grew up, but he shipped it down to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and rebuilt the whole. It's beautiful out there, man. I filmed several videos out there, and no bad angles, and it sounds great. I mean,
You look good at all angles.
uh,
You look good at all angles out there.
all angles.
Yeah, you said it said
Every
no bad
imaginable
angle.
one. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've recorded
good.
multiple places, yeah, and every one of them, 360, whatever. But it sounds fantastic on the dock. Because we'll set up on the dock. He's got a little pond right in front of this cabin, and we'll set up on the dock and we'll play. So just if we fall in, it'll be a real good show, especially if I'm holding the guitar or something. It's
That would be fun.
me and the fish are gonna float up. So, but no, I think we'd be all right. But it sounds incredible. And last time we had this like big sing along thing, and it's beautiful.
Sounds
As long as the cicadas don't drown us out this time of year, we'll be okay.
Your backup singers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, man, it's been such a delight to have you here. And I mean, let me just say as a friend, I'm just proud of you. I mean, this is, we want to talk, Hunter and I love talking to people, business leaders that are, who are they behind all this stuff? And you're doing a lot of stuff. But why you're doing that stuff is really important. And, sharing the story and even that, the hope of, man, you can come from one place and you can arrive at a different place, and just to be able to tell that story and see what God's been doing in your life and the way you've been working through it. And I love this fact that you said, we're not talking here about a success story and how I got there. You're like, you're still a work in progress, man, and that's hopeful. Man. That's the hopeful story as we talk about what success looks like.
Yeah, I don't buy those success stories.
Yeah, because we're all in the middle of it.
Yeah,
and but it's really encouraging. I love what you guys are doing, and so we're glad to support it and have you on, and it's been fun to just listen.
I think those success stories are just, I had more money than I used to have. I think that's usually what that is. You know what I mean?
It's a very narrow version of success. It's a very narrow version of success. This is why people feel depressed.
Yeah, dude.
But so thanks for spending time with us. Hunter, anything else you want to know from this gentleman?
This was awesome. Thank you, Tyler.
All right,
Yeah.
Tyler.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoyed it, man.
Shout out to Kelly, too.
My pleasure.
All right.
Her singing that amazing old country song. What's the one that's my favorite? I've told you. Who does she?
The Hank Williams song?
It's a Hank
Williams
song.
Your Cheating Heart.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hearing Kelly Dodson sing "Your Cheating Heart" is a beautiful thing.
I've never heard her sing a bad one. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great.
That's great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.